One.
Always looking.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Historic Preservation Board meeting of Thursday, February 4th. I think it's 5:01. I'm Joan Beligorno, the chairperson for our guests. I think everybody else knows each other. And we'll skip over the approval of the minutes and go right to the action items for our guests. And Mr. Bullo, is that right?
Correct. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Do you want to tell us what it is you would like? Just describe where the location you're going to and what you want us to review.
So I'm opening up a barber shop on 441 at the Four Corners in Penfield. And as of right now, the whole building kind of blends in together, the exterior part of it.
Yeah.
And the designer who did the signs actually painted the outside of the building. So I submitted that PDF file and I went with Sherwin-Williams paint, and I selected the paint for the front of the building. So this is what the building looks like right now.
Okay.
Where all the colors the same. And it kind of blends in together, doesn't really separate.
Okay.
Trying to get there.
And I asked for a historic paint category as well, so the guy helped me out with that. And then this would be the updated version of the outside.
Right. That's in the gray tones that you had sent us some, we got some things from Jim.
Correct.
This afternoon. Yeah, okay. So there are 2 tones of gray?
Yeah, there's 2. I thought the other one, I sent 2 pictures. I thought the other one was a little too dark. It looked
Okay.
kind of black. So I was just kind of going to leave it up to you and what you suggested as far as the dark part.
See if we can find something else here for you.
That's the iron ore, which is a little darker.
Okay.
And then that would be the light gray color. It looks kind of white on the picture, but it's a really light gray.
Okay. And the barber pole and everything is already there, right?
No, it's not there yet.
No.
No?
So let me just go back,
You
because
just cropped it
you're
up
looking
there,
at
I guess.
you're looking at the paint colors, but you're also looking at the signs. The town board has conceptually approved the signs subject to your review and approval. And many of the signs, for instance, the ones in the window and the one in the door, they're on the interior of the building, so they don't need sign permits. The ones you're really focusing on is this sign here, the sign that he'd like to place out, which is perpendicular to the road. There's another one down the way that the Art Stop has just like it. And then these signs here are inside, so they're not required to be permitted, or have a permit required for them.
Right. Okay. What
So
about
the one that's perpendicular to the road is just directly in the middle of that part of the building?
That's right. It's a 3.25 square foot sign.
Oh, okay, it's there.
It's not there yet, but there is one just like it that the Art Stop has down here somewhere.
Okay.
I have a question about paint of the frieze and the building. How is it separated from the Art Stop colors? So,
See if I can, no, I don't think I had it. I did have a photo that showed that.
Yeah, you sent us a picture of that.
Yeah, you do
Yeah,
have
I'm
that.
looking- yeah, I am looking at the picture and it looks like it just stops next to the window, but there is, I mean, is it a flat border or is it turning around? It's kind of, there is no physical separation between, those two, between blue and dark gray. Am I right? It's just a flat frieze, and then at one point they will draw a line and start gray color.
Yes.
Correct.
I think that's what it
Yeah,
looks like
okay.
on the photo that he sent you that shows the two tones.
That's very awkward.
Jim, I can barely hear you.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
sorry.
fading out, Jim.
Are you
Okay.
talking about, you can barely hear me or Jim?
No, oh, Jim, I can't hear.
All right.
Mira, there was a picture when we started of the two storefronts side by side when we
Yeah.
started this discussion. Jim, can you find that?
Yep.
Because I somehow in the old days, before this was redone, I think this looked, the part that's going to be the barber shop, different appearance to it. Does anybody remember that?
I believe that the building was white with black trim, and I think the entire building was that way. I don't think it was
Okay.
set
All right.
aside.
I don't remember that your long trees at the top ever been two different colors.
Okay, that could be. Can I ask a question about the landlord? Has the landlord approved the paint colors and combinations?
Yes, she has. I asked, the town board actually asked for a letter from her to verify that, and she did send that on to me, so I do have an
Okay.
email from her saying it's okay.
And I guess one of the reasons I asked that is because when she came in with her paint colors, I remember sitting there going, that is god awful, but I'm gonna trust her 'cause she's an artist. And I was so pleased with how the building came out. It just, she had a vision and she did it. And when you drive by the four corners, it's kind of eclectic, but it looks really neat. So I guess I put a lot of faith in the fact that she likes the color combinations against her building. To me, that weighs a lot. I don't know how you solve Mira's question. But,
Is this the picture you're talking about? Can anybody see that? We got that on our PDF, and
Yeah.
it shows the freeze light all the way across.
So
yeah, that's what we got up now.
I'm glad you asked me to put this picture up, because if you see my cursor moving around here,
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is the area that's going to be painted. This area here is going to stay as it is, I believe,
right.
because that's part of the art stop. But this area here to here would be different.
Okay. So it's just gonna be a straight painted line when you go up that narrow.
Like that
next-
column, Joan? Is
Yeah,
that, I'm pointing like you can see me.
yeah, right there, right where Jim has it right now.
Right now, that column will be in the gray section.
Yeah,
So
Correct.
that will be the break for that part. But then Mira, you're concerned about the top piece?
the freeze, yeah.
We can stick a nice piece of trim up there, exterior trim, so it separates it.
Okay.
So it doesn't look like I understand what you're saying. You don't want
You know,
shade.
yeah, so
I-
you could stick a piece of a trim above the capital of the column that would be vertical and made of maybe intermediate color or something that would visually separate the two themes of this first floor storefront. I think that would be much better.
Yeah, I agree.
Jim, is there a way for me to post my screen, because you sent us a PDF?
Yes, you can share, Mira, if you'd like. I'll turn off my sharing, and then you can share if you want.
Okay, I'm clicking on sharing. No.
Yeah, there is one picture where you can see it's just a straight painted line.
Well, I want to turn my sharing
Jim,
on.
I need your permission to share.
Okay,
Jim, it's in the picture with the perpendicular barber.
Is it-
Exterior colored mock-up, it says on the top.
is it this
Oh,
one?
There's mock-up.
Then if you go to the screen share, and then you stop sharing.
Yeah, it tells me you cannot start screen share while the others
Yeah,
are
it's,
sharing.
Don't you have to give up being a moderator for a
not-
minute?
it's not, I'm not
That's
getting,
what we have to do on our system.
there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Now we just got you.
All right, so Mira, You want to share, you're welcome to.
I am sharing now.
There it is.
There it is, yep.
Okay.
That's nice.
So you see, this line, this is very artificial, the way it is shown now. We need a logical separation between this theme and this completely different theme. So something over here, my opinion, is needed.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Now, I'm a little confused about, on one picture, we have the perpendicular barber sign. And on the other
Stone.
picture, we have the barber pole in that.
Yeah, they're switched on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah. So Vital Signs, when they came out, they said that because of the art stop sign was the front of the barber sign, that switching them would be better because then you'd be able to see the sign since those two signs wouldn't be as close.
okay. So which one is correct? The one,
The other one, where the barber sign is in the middle of the barber shop and the barber pole's on the right.
right,
Walk.
okay. So the barber pole is on the outside of the building?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Beyond
And
that.
then the barber perpendicular sign is closer to art stop. It's on the other side, correct?
Further from art stop.
No, further,
Further.
where the
Okay.
barber pole is. You just swap those two.
Okay, I see. I got it. Sorry. So does anybody have any comment on the colors?
I like them. I think they look great.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they're fine.
yeah.
And I think Mira's suggestion is a good one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Would, unless anybody has more discussion, I would approve it. I would approve it as is with the condition that the Mira's issue be addressed.
Right, I was just gonna say maybe when, Mr. Bullo decides what he's gonna put there, he could, just send Jim, a picture and we all can look at it, but Mira would be the important one. She would understand how it
Yep.
was supposed to be.
You know, it will also make a painting job much easier because
Yeah.
Right,
transition.
okay. Is that, agreeable to you, Mr. Silvano? Or
Yes.
Mr. Bullo,
100.
sorry.
All right.
The rest of us have I have my last name up there.
Yeah, I really think it looks great.
Yeah, so does anybody want to make a motion?
Well, before you do that, could I just interrupt? So we are going to go with the iron ore, or did you change that?
If I'd like to go with the iron ore.
Okay, I just want to
Is that
verify
the
that.
first picture we saw?
Yes.
That's the less black colored
Yeah, the
one.
less black one?
Yeah,
I like
Okay.
it.
And I did have one other question. The barber studio, that's on the inside and that's white?
Correct. That's on the inside.
Then the one that's above, that's also white
Yes.
letters. Okay, and I assume the perpendicular one too, so that all matches. So any writing basically is white.
Correct.
Gotcha. And then it looks like are those lights there now underneath in this one picture, it looks like there's lights underneath the overhang.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, those lights were installed by the person who had the gallery there a while back.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Any other questions?
yeah, I think the landlord's gonna have to improve something done to the building, I assume.
That was the letter, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but if we put that little piece above
I
the,
She
Oh,
will have
yeah,
to
yeah.
approve it, yes.
Yeah,
Which I'm sure she will, because she wants the tenant in the building. And I'll
Yeah.
talk to her about that before we move forward on it.
okay. Okay, anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Tom? Go ahead.
Motion to approve with the lighter of the two dark colors. What else do we need to approve? The sign is moved over to the middle and the barber pole's over to the left.
Right. And we will review the whatever's added to make a division up on top.
Transition strip.
Yeah, before it's put up.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, so moved.
Anybody have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Don. Any further questions?
Nope.
Okay. All in favor? Why don't you call out your name so we get everybody in here? Don, what do you say?
Don, yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Mira?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
And I don't know, where's Mike?
Did we lose Mike?
Mike is muted.
I'm unmuted.
Okay.
I'm in favor.
Okay. So it's unanimous. No, anybody, no one is opposed.
No.
Okay.
I can't make my camera show it, but we have antique barber chairs in our living room here.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
and we have the whole mirror piece. We have a 15-foot barber mirror with all the old barber shop stuff on it.
Really?
That's awesome.
Cool.
Grandfather's barber shop. We moved it here.
Very cool.
So Don's getting free haircuts.
Yeah.
Silvano, you should just gone over to Don's house and worked from there.
Yeah.
All right.
When do you hope to open?
Probably April. I'm thinking April.
That's
So-
a good time to start. Are you
Yeah.
in business in Penfield now, or are you moving from somewhere?
I'm not. I moved out here about 2 years ago. I currently own a barber shop out in Brockport. I opened that one up when I was 19. I'm 32 now as of February 8th. So, yeah, my kids go to Penfield and I'm just trying to make a life out here and get a lifelong barber shop going.
Well, welcome to town.
It
It looks
was,
like
yeah.
you've got a good start.
There was a barber shop in there in the old days.
It was?
Oh, was there?
Oh, yeah, Ernie Matthews was there. Ernie
That's
Matthews
great.
was in there, way back.
I'll have to research it.
Yep. And then I
Maybe
think it was Ernie
Kathy's got some
Matthews.
pictures.
Then wasn't it a soda pop? Wasn't a McGowan soda stand in that place? I don't know what came first, the soda stand or Ernie Matthews. But those two things, I think, were in that location.
Yeah, and if anybody has pictures, let me know because I'll print them out and frame them and I could hang them inside of the barber shop back when it used to be a barber shop.
Yeah,
That'd
Ernie
be cool.
Matthews was there, you know.
Kathy, do you
That's
have?
for
If you
Kathy.
come into the local history room, we can see if we've got some photographs, and then I can email you. And you
Okay,
can print them out
awesome.
and frame them up.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, well, thank you. And just get that extra divider there, a photo to Jim, and
Okay,
you're good to go. Okay?
awesome. Thank you. You guys
Thanks
have a
for
good
coming
weekend.
in. All right,
Good luck.
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Penford.
Okay,
Okay, we have with us
Wendi.
Wendi Hollenbeck-Loyet. Wendi, are you there?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
everybody can hear? Okay, good. So you have quite an expansive project here that you're considering, right?
Yes, we are in the early phases of acquiring the Daisy Flour Mill.
Uh-huh.
Yes, we would like to turn it into a really cool state-of-the-art indoor dog park and bar and grill and event space, as well as in the basement, a wine bar.
Okay,
So you can come, and if you don't have a dog, obviously you can enjoy the place. If you do have a dog, you can bring your dog with you, drop them off in the daycare facility. We'll have referees, is what we're calling them, taking care of your dog, looking after them, playing with them, giving them treats, cleaning up after them. Our contractor has told us that he's found a self-flushing floor. So the floor will be, when I say state of the art, quite interesting in that it will be very, very clean. and self-flushing, and then have AstroTurf on it. So it'll feel like they're in the grass, it'll look like you're in the grass, but it'll be extremely antimicrobial and sanitary and cool.
Sounds interesting. I'm trying to picture the building and all these spaces where they're going to be. So you have a room for small dogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically we're working with the designer now. The ballroom is 3,000 square feet, so we would like to break it up into small dogs and large dogs. And when you walk in those double doors into the ballroom, they're going to put up a half wall. So a human would walk in and take a right and then walk along a corridor to go out to the deck, because we can't have anybody with alcohol, food, or drink in the park. There has to be a certain height of wall separating so that no food or drink is allowed in the park. Obviously, if you're a dog owner and you want to go in and play with your dog, you can, but you just can't take any food and drink in there ever, because it's not safe.
Okay.
And we'd like to, there's not a lot of things we want to do to the 3-acre property itself, except for perhaps building out off of that deck a sort of dog run. So when the weather is nice, we could have a small area. I don't know, you probably can't see my cursor. In that grassy area there, we'd like to create like a small pen, so to speak. So if it's nice and everybody's outside on the deck having beers, having food and beers, and they want their dogs to run outside, they can. But that's where we're not sure.
Jim, do you have a picture up? Can you show us where that is?
Well, that's a good question.
We don't have any pictures yet. Like I said, we're in the very preliminary stages of acquisition. So our guy just went out to the property last Friday and drew up blueprints, because there aren't any blueprints of the Daisy Flower Mill. So we had a guy come out and fully blueprint it out for us.
Okay.
Is this a deck area right here?
Yeah.
That looks like the second deck. Like there's a deck that
Showing
comes up
further
from the
back.
basement that you just had your cursor on, and I think that's the deck from the basement.
Okay.
That needs a lot of work, and we'd like to use it, but obviously refurbish it. If you keep going down, there's a deck right there with like an arbor on it. It's a very nice deck there.
Okay. Wendy, is the health department putting any restrictions on you with respect to dining versus being in such close proximity to animals? Is that an issue? Have you talked to them about that?
We've had lots of conversations with them. It really is just a matter of these half walls and keeping everything very, very separate.
Okay.
From food and alcohol. No dogs are allowed to just mill around on the deck. There would have to be an absolute like wall run where they could like run down the steps, very separate from food and drink. Yeah.
How do you address the noise between, dogs park and where humans are going to sit?
Well, in the indoor dog park, I expect that no one will be allowed to eat in there, so dogs can bark freely. Are you talking about if we do the outdoor space?
Mira, you're muted.
Sorry, I don't think it's a matter for this board to discuss. I was just curious.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to be a consideration. I'm considering having them put in acoustic panels in the dog park to absorb any of the barking noise, because I want it to be enjoyable for the dogs as well as the humans.
Okay.
Jim, aside from our interest in the historic nature, what other processes does it have to go through with the town?
Well, what you're going to be doing, I had her come in first because she's going to be attending a meeting with the town board next Wednesday to discuss her proposal with them. As you know, she has to obtain a special permit to work within an historic building from the town board, but it has to be based on a recommendation from your board, this board. which is why I invited her in. And I think, other than that, there won't be anything else other than what she may have to do with the health department or whomever's involved with, with the operation or overseeing the operation. The big thing, Wendy, I'd like you to talk to the board a little bit about what you're proposing to do with the exterior of the building, and also the discussion you and I had with respect to the historic components of the interior of the building.
For the exterior, we like to take it back to its original color, and based on the pictures that I've seen at the library, I went and spent a couple of hours there with Kathy. It looks like it was white with black trim, which is actually our brand colors. So we'd like to take it back to white with black trim, all of the buildings throughout on the exterior. And then the sign that's on the road that says Daisy Flour Mill, we would want to call this the Rock Dog Lounge at the Daisy Flour Mill, maintaining the Daisy Flour Mill's integrity and its name and everything that it's meant to Rochester. But we would want to change this sign to be white with black trim as well to match the building.
Okay.
Jim,
How
there's-
about the interior elements?
Yeah.
The interior elements, we love all of the historical elements. We want them all to stay. The only thing, we had our contractor in there with his engineer, and there's one piece of equipment that looks like a print press that has been hoisted up into a loft area that it's very difficult if even you can access it. I'm not sure if it was maybe put there because it was out of service. So we would like to remove that, but that's it. It's just a big clunky piece of equipment that doesn't look like it works anymore. And you can't really even see it. Like if you're sitting at a table, you wouldn't be able to enjoy that feature of the historic property. And also the engineer said the weight of it is pulling one of the joists away from the wall, and just removing it would almost solve that problem.
Kathy, do you know anything about the printing press? Where'd she go? She's gone.
I'm here. I do not know anything about it. I'd like to see it, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
And before I mute again, I want to say the white color is from a postcard that was made when there was the Bidwell Post Office, which was early 1900s. We don't have any photographs of the original color. I don't know
okay.
what color Samuel Rich had it. Maybe he had no color. I don't know for sure, but that was an early color over 100 years ago. So
Okay. Yeah, and it's a black and white photo too. So I just made an assumption that what looked to be white was white. And I was
it was
thrilled.
pretty light if it wasn't white.
Yeah. And I mean, we can be totally flexible. If it isn't white, it's like a grayish white. That's fine. I just would love to see it back to that. I think it's such a beautiful barn.
Jim, the 3 properties that I can see here, are those the lots that we had divided, or are they further down?
No, those are the 3 lots you had subdivided, and they are on their own separate parcels now and owned by other individuals.
Okay.
Jim, are you aware of the piece of equipment that Wendy's talking about?
No, she brought it to my attention, and I Wendy, if you get a chance the next time you're in the building, could you just take a photo of it and just send it to me so I can get it to the board?
Yeah,
That'd be great.
absolutely. It's when you go upstairs and you take a right, and there's rooms. There's like an enormous room actually for like a private event or private dinner room. And when you walk into that room and then you turn around and look up into the rafters is like this massive piece of equipment.
Hey, Jim, is any SHPO involvement with this one, or is it not trigger any review by them?
Only in the sense that the last time we had a young lady come in to talk about purchasing the building, she initially proposed to take out the milling.
He's still in the office.
Can you hear me okay?
Okay.
Oh, it's Joan on somebody else.
Sorry, my phone went off. I thought I had turned the volume down.
They had the bands that were bringing the wheat up to the roof area or the second floor for storage. They indicated that they did not want to see those disturbed. They were an integral part of the building. The building is a National Historic Landmark. It's not just a Penfield landmark. So there is another level, but if they're not going to do anything to those portions of the building, then they should be okay.
Okay. Well, I do think, Kathy, maybe you could, let Jim send us those pictures that you have of the different colors.
Yeah, I have only, with that early color, sure. Jim, did I send that to you?
I haven't received it yet. You and I saw it in one of the articles that you had prepared for West Penfield.
Okay.
Okay.
That picture that Kathy's referring to is actually, I'm not sure it's on the website yet, but it will be soon. It does show that. But if you could just send it, that'd be great. I'd get it out to the board.
Okay.
Okay.
And one other thing, Tom, I'm just noticing that bright red, I believe that's the bright red awning in the central entrance.
Mm-hmm.
We would want to, change that probably to either black or white, whichever suited, historically suited the board, because it would go better with the building being white with black trim. Wouldn't change that.
Yeah, you don't want white awning. It will get gray very quickly.
Okay, I think black is probably fine with like our logo in white writing.
And the parking lot and everything will stay the same?
Yes.
Back of the
Yeah.
1872 there.
Yeah, and and one other little thing is we have talked about possibly needing to build on the property somewhere a small utility building so that we could have an ATV snowplow, multi-use like mower, so we could take care of the property.
Okay.
And I don't know where we would store that in that mill anywhere. So.
Right.
So Wendy, when you
have any comments about what they like or don't like, or I mean, this is just today for conversation because it's got to go to the other board first. No questions?
No.
Okay.
So Wendy, as Joan mentioned, this is just a discussion with the board. You will have to eventually make an application for a certificate of appropriateness, which would include all the things you've talked about with the board this evening. And certainly that package would also go to the town board as their approval process takes place at the same time.
Right.
Okay.
Wendy, I'm just curious about the dog floor. What kind of floor is it? I'm just curious how that works.
I don't know exactly. The contractor, he sent me a lengthy email with diagrams, and what I remember is that it's called self-flushing, so that basically so that we can spray it clean and bleach, so that it can hold up to urine and feces and bleach, so we can clean it.
Okay.
And then, because my big thing was, and if that doesn't work, then we've got some other options, but I had wanted the park to look and feel like you were in an outdoor park in a nice warm space in the dead of winter. And so, or on gray, cloudy days, I mean, we're going to do LED daylights in there that are dimmable, so that you get your light therapy when you're there. There's going to be chill out rooms for the dogs if they just want to take a nap and they don't want to play, but their folks are watching the game and trying to have dinner and they're not ready to take their fur kid home yet. There will be little chill out rooms and spaces for them to eat dinner or anything like that too.
Just out of curiosity, what's the capacity of the dog room?
That we don't know yet because I don't have the full diagrams and all of the blueprints for how much space the walkway will take up and how it will be broken out. So I don't know that yet.
Okay. And the wine bar is, you said downstairs, right? I kind of remember being there.
Yeah, in the basement. We want to revitalize that fireplace and turn it into like a speakeasy looking type of wine bar.
They used to have New Year's Eve down there.
I heard. I love that. We want to get 2 liquor licenses and revitalize that bar and everything.
Wendy, have you been in this business before?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. I got back into it actually. I retired from advertising and marketing last year and started apprenticing under the chef at Rome Restaurant on Park Ave with Drew Nye, the owner.
Mhm.
He's our consultant on this project actually. So I've been cooking and washing dishes and reacquainting myself with the back of the house. Most of my experience is front of the house, and catering and developing and things like that. But I've been cooking now for a while.
You plan on using it when the dogs are not there for a bar and like, keeping open at night?
I'm so sorry, say that again?
You plan on keeping open after hours as a bar or a place to get a food and stuff like that?
Absolutely, yeah. The dog park, I don't have the hours right in front of me, but the dog park will be closed on Mondays, completely closed on Mondays, planning to be open Tuesday through Thursday from in the morning. You can drop your dog off for doggy daycare all day long, and then the bar and grill restaurant will open at noon for patrons to come in and just enjoy the bar and restaurant. If you have a dog, you would bring your dog in, pay $10 to drop your dog off in daycare, and then go to the bar and restaurant. And yes, it would be open. The dog park is open if the restaurant and bar is open. So, yes.
So in theory, you could be open till 11 o'clock at night?
Absolutely. On Friday and Saturday nights, we'll be open.
Yeah, on your description here, it says, let me see, Saturday is 10:30 a.m. to 12 a.m. So
For the
this-
restaurant.
Right.
Yeah. Because we'll do lunch on Saturdays and Sundays.
And of course, that would not be what we would be, considering, but I'm sure the town will,
Yeah.
you want to discuss that with them. But,
Okay. Sure.
it's interesting. Yeah, that's a good place for use of kayaks there. I kayaked down there.
Yeah, and I can't wait to somebody to kayak by and me to wave them down to come in and get a beer and a taco, and if their dog's with them, I'll escort their dog to the dog park.
Sounds like a plan. All right, well, you're meeting with the town next week. So Jim, I don't think we have to do anything at this point, do we?
Well, I don't think you really formally need to. At some point in time before she moves forward, though, you'll probably have to give a recommendation as to your thoughts regarding the exterior modifications to the building.
Right. I mean, off the top of my head, without walking around down there and thinking about the colors and stuff, I mean, I don't see any huge objections. I don't know if anybody else.
That's a good point, Joe. Maybe we should just take a little site tour at some point in time at Wendy's convenience and go through
it's just really hard to visualize. It's been so many years since I've been there.
Yeah, and it needs some TLC for sure.
Right. And so I don't know how fast things are gonna go with the town and how it's gonna come out, but why don't, Jim, you let us know when you think it would be a good time for us to go down there and meander around. And then you can check with Wendy and see what's going on, no?
Sounds good.
Not on a blizzard day.
We'll let some of the snow melt first.
Yeah. All right, does anybody have any other questions?
No.
Not here.
I have one more question.
Okay.
It's also very preliminary, but I had also hoped to, in that area behind the deck and down a bit, to put in a garden, one that was aesthetically pleasing, and that we could also use the herbs in the kitchen and in the bar.
Okay.
So just something pretty, to enjoy, but it would be using the exterior of the property.
No big
We're,
deal.
we're usually in favor of landscaping, so that's,
Well, I'm a huge gardener, so landscaping, I have lots of fun ideas for that.
you know, there are some, Kathy could probably talk to that better, but there are some, opinions on, the appropriate design for a historic property, but we can talk about that further. You know,
Okay.
when we actually get there.
Sounds good.
All right, anybody else? Well, lots of luck to you and keep us posted on how it's going.
Thank you so much. We're so excited. We've been dreaming about this for years. So
Ah, good, all right.
All
So
right,
we'll be
thank you,
talking
Wendy.
to you soon then, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, if we can jump back to the
To
minutes.
the minutes, right?
So I hang up now.
Yes, you
Okay.
can. Go have dinner.
Okay. All right, thanks all.
Bye-bye. Okay, so we have the draft of the minutes from January 7th. Does anybody have any corrections or comments or? No?
I move to approve.
Second.
Mike second.
Okay.
Any further conversation? The only thing I would say is good job, Jim. No.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, first of all, I want to thank the board for getting back to me so quickly about being able to move our timeframes. Is everybody comfortable with doing this around 5 o'clock until we can get through all this craziness? Or do you want to go back to 7 o'clock? And it doesn't matter to me either way, but it has been pretty good to have it at 5. It makes it easier on the staff here who's doing all this good work for us with, Zoom and everything. And I don't know if it's been inconvenient for you or not, but if it has been, certainly let me know and we can switch back to 7 if it's necessary.
I like 5.
Yeah, I'm generally okay with it too.
Yeah,
I'm good with it.
I'm good with 5.
Very good. All right. For
Jim, what day of what is the date of the March meeting?
It's the 4th.
Okay,
It's the first Thursday.
all right. I didn't have my calendar in front of me. No, I'll be here.
Very good. So we'll keep it this way for the time being until we see where we're going in the world. And if we have to go back, we'll go back. But right now, it's just been really convenient. And they've made it so that you can watch it anytime you want. So it's not like anybody's missing anything if the public's not missing anything at 5 o'clock versus 7.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. Thanks, Dave, for us as usual. Went smoothly.
We're supposed to vote, aren't we?
Yep.
In favor, say aye.
All in favor. Thanks, Mike.
Aye.
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 Okay.
Aye.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Very good.
Jim, if you can stay on, I have unrelated questions for you.
Not a problem.
Okay.